Why? So why? What's your reasons? Why? What is that? What drives you? Because some people struggle to figure that out. Some people your age struggle to figure that out. So there's always restart.
I have a vision for myself, and I know that if I don't get there, I'm going to be mad. And I'm going to be mad at myself. I can't be mad at anybody else. And it doesn't help me to look back and think, oh yeah, I never tried. I worked the job. I gave up because I didn't like it. I know I have a specific goal. I see myself here, and I'm going to be there one way or another.
Welcome to 10 years of long-term life-changing legacy of Elevate, a special series celebrating a decade of impact with Elevate Indianapolis. Since 2015, we've built long-term life-changing relationships with urban youth, equipping them to thrive and contribute in their communities. In this series, you'll hear the powerful voices of alumni whose lives and legacies tell one story. No one gets there alone.
Today, we're continuing our podcast series in our 10th year of Elevate, talking about long-term, life-changing legacies. If we've not met before, my name is Aaron. I'm the president and CEO of Elevate Indianapolis. In our 10th year, I got my normal co-host over here.
Calvin Washington, graduated from George Washington in May, and go to IU Bloomington. I will be graduating in 2029.
So 2025?
Or 2028.
Or
2028.
We changed it to 3 year?
You might graduate as a junior. I got the credit, so.
Okay, well, 2025 grad, George Washington.
Yep.
So just look at IU Bloom here. So we'll see 3-4 years. We'll see. We're going to hold you to that. The world's hearing it now.
Thanks,
Calvin. So we have another Washington alumni for our podcast series, celebrating our alumni and they're thriving and contributing, our focus. And so you want to introduce yourself, help our folks get to know you a little bit?
Yeah, my name is Imani. I go to IUI, downtown Indianapolis, IU, the other IU branch.
Uh-huh.
So I graduated 2023 at George Washington.
So this will be your incoming, you'll be a junior. By the time this podcast comes out, you'll be a junior.
Yes. I got 2 weeks left to start.
Okay. So we're recording this now, releasing it this fall. So what has, like, just basics, what's your major, what's your focus in college? And then we're going to kind of go back a little bit.
So my major is public health. I am going to stay one more year after in order to get an accelerated nursing degree.
Okay.
Hopefully that goes smoothly because at first I was pre-nursing, but then, I struggled with anatomy. So that pushed me back, I think, a semester. But good thing that public health lined up with it. So now I'm actually ahead of my degree plan.
Great job. Great job. So talk about, let's go back a little bit. Were you born in Indianapolis? What side of town did you grow up on? Like, it's just for our folks who don't know you at all.
I grew up as a kid. I was always on the west side. We had houses by the fairgrounds. Then we had it on, it's a long time ago. It was right across from a church, but they now made the place next to it. It's like it's a community home now.
Okay. So lived around the west side a lot.
Yeah.
Born in Indy.
Preteen, that was when I started getting on the east side. Like, it was 2 houses in 1 apartment.
So move from west side to east side, grow up on the east side. While you were in high school, you're living on the east side. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And you were going to West Side High School, Washington.
Yes.
So who's your family? Like, who'd you grow up with? Who's the close people around you family-wise?
So I grew up with my mom's side mostly. I didn't see my dad's side unless it was holidays. I did go over to my siblings' house when I was really younger. Those people used to be my people. Like, their siblings, my siblings, their aunties, my aunties. I grew up with them. But now as I got older and I moved further from them, it was more my mom's side. Like, I would see them all the time and just like, hey, everybody, like, hey, walk down the street, see my cousin. I'm like, okay, you want to go do this? And I'm like, yeah. So it was pretty cool. So I want to say I'm closer to my mom's side now.
Yeah, so close to your mom's side of the family, a close family on that end. So what's, looking back, just childhood in general, so what are a couple of experiences just to help folks understand what really was formative to you, either a high or a low? What was just big influences from you from childhood to you?
My mom had breast cancer when I was in 2nd grade to 4th grade. That's originally why we moved to be closer to my grandmother so she can take care of us while my mom was getting chemotherapy. So that's when we originally moved. I want to say that was like a really big impact because I grew up on the west side in the same school. Like everybody knew everybody. And then when you switch to the east side, you're like, oh, I don't know everybody. And everybody grew up around each other. They know each other. So you're just trying to fit into their groups, kind of.
Mm. So your mom having breast cancer, obviously your mom is still today and alive and is healthy and has overcome that. But did that have any influence on why you chose to go into a nursing or a pre-nursing and kind of public health? Is that at all, or is that you feel like that was unrelated?
So my family, we always have health issues. I don't know what it is. My grandma actually had breast cancer too. My grandfather had liver cancer, something like that. So growing up around the hospital, like growing in there, you're just like, oh, wow, that's cool. I wish I can do that. So as I got older, I'm like, okay, I'm used to this setting. I'm okay with this setting. Like, most people don't want to go into the nursing field because they're like, okay, well, I don't want to experience death. But, it's a common thing in life. So it's kind of, what's going to happen. At least you're prepared for it mentally. But when it happens, it is a shock. But I feel like since I was around it, I'm not numb to it, but I expect it and I'm okay with it. Like I can come to terms with it pretty quick.
That's powerful. I mean, that's powerful. So I want to talk about high school, just non-Elevate, and then I'm going to ask Calvo to kind of take over for a second. But looking back in high school in general, it's maybe middle school, high school. Obviously, high school, you were a great student.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, so you graduated in your class. You were where are you ranked at in your class? In your senior graduation class wise,
I was ranked 12, but
12. So you were top of the class in the top of the class.
Top of the class. I was on the senior committee board. I was class president for the seniors. Usually just tried to talk to everybody in school.
So academics were, I wanted to share that because I knew that wanted our audience to be able to share. So you were top of your class. Academics were academics always important to you growing up? Is it important to your family? Or is it just something that became like, hey, I could be pretty good at school?
In high school, that's when it was. I feel like in elementary, I started getting serious about it because I got a C, and it was around Halloween. My mom was like, you're not going trick-or-treating because you got a C on your report card. And I was just like, I thought it was the end of the world.
C too close to a D. That's all my family say.
Yeah.
C is close to a D.
If it's a C, I don't see it. And I'm like, oh.
Dang.
Okay.
If it's a C, I don't see Halloween, or I don't see, oh man.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God. So then that's when I started taking it seriously. But then when I got to high school, I had friends. They were like really into school. I was at Warren at the time. Oh my God. They were so like academically, they were always challenging each other. So I was like, okay, well, I kind of want to fit in too. So I started trying harder. But then I realized it wasn't so hard to just, put some more effort into it.
And then so obviously you transferred to Washington. What year was that?
It was right before COVID. I think I only had like 1 month in person, and then it was COVID, and I was like, oh.
And then, so that second semester, that had been second semester, I guess, before COVID. And so 2019, 2020 year, talk about your Elevate experience in general. Who were those teacher mentors that were so important to you at the time? What were some of those transformative experiences? Just to give our folks who don't know, was that an important part of your high school experience? What contributed to that? And then we'll jump on to kind of present now.
Okay. So when we got back to school, that's when I had Elevate, and I had it again during our hybrid time. So then that's when I really was like, this is the only class that I'm actually enjoying having fun with. Like, it's not a struggle for me to wake up and hop online and do the class. So Miss Marino, Miss Simmons, Mr. Johnson, like all of them made it easier for you to like feel comfortable. Mr. Johnson as well, because he would tell a joke and it was kind of hard not to laugh sometimes.
Dad joke type of dad joke type of thing.
It was definitely the dad jokes. I was like, okay. It's not funny, but the way
I'm going
you
to tell
think
him.
it's funny.
I'm going to see him on Monday. I'll tell him this.
Tell him.
Okay, I will. All right. So any other, looking back, so obviously the classes were important to you. You got through COVID, and obviously after COVID was over, we were back in person. You were in our classes then. You were pretty connected still your senior year. Any memories come back? I know it's been a few years that are kind of elevate memories that really had been important to you as the influence on you.
I really liked the teaching. I thought I wanted to become a teacher, but when I got to actually be in the classroom, I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me, but it was still something that, like, to this day, I still remember. So when people tell me that, oh, I'm going to school for education or early childhood education, I'm like, oh my God, I have so much respect for you. Because I tried it. It wasn't for me. It was kind of hard. Because you have to get everybody's attention, and it's like, you can't get everybody's attention on one go. And I'm the type of person that I'm like, okay, 2 times I'm going to say it. 3rd time I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to give up. But being a teacher, you have to constantly reach out to students. And I felt like that's where I was just like, I can't. So now it's just something I remember.
No, that's a good memory. Most of our alumni, just so for you to know, most of our alumni interviews here, most of them have talked about Little Elevator as a formative experience, whether it be it influenced them to go in education or future career field, or thank God I'm not doing that again. In terms of learned it and Calvin's talked about it. A couple others did as well on their alumni interviews. So that's an important part of Elevate, is empowering our young people, juniors and seniors, usually at that point, to then go and teach 3rd, 4th, 5th grade students, teach them Elevate's character attributes, life skills, maybe tell them more than once to get them to listen, to you remember that probably a lot as well. So thanks for sharing, Imani. Calvin, let's bring it forward though. I'll put you on here. What do you want to ask her?
Since you were in college and you're doing public health, right? That's your major. So you're doing public health. Can you tell me what your life looks like now? Like how your classes are going to look and stuff like that?
So when you get into public health, you're kind of taking more intro classes, but since I had already took a lot of health focused classes, I was already like a step in. So mine won't look like everybody else's, but community health, intro to public health, both of those classes, like, they're key for you to get into public health to let you know if you think you can keep going in it. They'll talk about how you have to reach out to communities. You'll learn about like Excel sheets. Excel sheets are so hard with public health because you have to tally up like who's getting sick, where are they getting it from, like how long have you been sick, how long did it take for symptoms to show. So it's a lot of, that's more epidemiology, but they do start telling you about it beforehand. Then you have biostatistics. Unfortunately, I do have to take biostatistics this semester.
You do good.
I'm not good at math. I feel like numbers, I'll see the same number. I'm like, okay, 2, 2, 2. And I'm just assume the rest of everything else is 2. And then I don't know where it's like a 4 or 8. And I'm just like, okay, wait, I have to recount this. So it's a lot of repetitive stuff, but it's more community based and seeing if you can connect with the community, if you can help them, stuff like that.
And then just outside of the classes and school piece of it, to Calvo's point, what's the rest of your life look like? Are you working? Is it tight with your family? Kind of what's that? Obviously, your summer. Have you taken any classes this summer or no? No. So just think about kind of the season of life in general as a young woman. What's your life like?
So right now, sadly, I haven't been anywhere else but working home. I usually watch my 2 nieces. My brother had a kid last year, so she's 1 year old. Sometimes we'll help him with her. Her name's Sincere. I have another niece. Her name is Miracle. She was actually born prematurely. My sister was 4 months pregnant when she had her, so she was born with like breathing machines.
How long ago was that?
7 years.
7 years.
It's August 8th.
I remember during high school, you helped and take care of her then too.
Yeah.
I didn't know she was 4 months born. That's amazing.
She's alive and thriving. She's so energetic too. She's nonverbal, but sometimes you'll catch her blabbering, and she's like a little parrot. So once you say something, she'll say it too, and she'll keep saying it to get familiarized with it.
Mm.
And then out of nowhere, she'll talk in your conversation. You're like, where'd you learn that from? So her favorite word is bro right now. So
She learned it from you or somebody else, right? Or her dad or whatnot, your family.
Okay, Immani, I heard you talk about you're going to stay another year after college so you can get your nursing degree. So like when you was talking about how you got pushed back a semester, you was in pre-nursing. How can you give me like a good definition of thriving? Because I know you have to thrive so you can get back on track.
What's it mean to thrive? Yeah.
to thrive, I feel like you're not giving up. For me, I had failed anatomy twice, and I finally had talked to him like near the end of the semester. I was like, hey, I'm really not understanding why I'm still at the same exact spot I was last year. And I've put in the effort, I've done everything I could. And he's like, well, I don't know, maybe you have a learning disability, anything. So he told me to go get tested. And I actually have ADHD, and it takes me 3 seconds longer to process what's going on. And since he would get off, the lecture teacher, he would get off track so much, I would struggle to keep up with the important things he was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what really got me in the end. So after that, I was like, okay, well, now what do I do? I can't take the class again for another year, but I can't just stop here because I'm on a full ride scholarship, and you can't just not take classes and take a break.
Yeah.
So you have to keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought, okay, well, what's a parallel plan that I can do with the credits that I already have? And just basically keep pushing forward. Like, what can I do instead while I wait? Because I don't want to give up on what I think is right for me, especially when I already put so much work into it. It's really just understanding that you put in all this effort. Are you really ready to just drop it? Because if you are, that means you weren't really into it in the first place.
So that definition of thriving, so kind of go back to that. So obviously those are great illustrations. How to overcome, how to pursue. What else would you say in a non-academic standpoint? Like, what's it mean to thrive in life for people in our community, as you would see it, describe it?
I feel like prioritizing what you think is right. So if you think something doesn't fit with you as a person, like morally, or it just makes you uncomfortable to think about, you don't have to deal with it, and you don't have to stay stuck on it forever. So I feel like a lot of people they just bury it down, and then when the anger explodes, they're like mad. But if you think about it, you express your feelings towards it, it won't make it as bad. So you're just going on about life. Like, it's not something weighing you down constantly that you're constantly thinking about. I like to talk about it, talk it out. If the other person doesn't understand where I'm coming from, that's okay. At least I got it out, and it's not going to sit with me. And I can keep going about my day, my year, my month, and I'm happy. I'm like, right now, I could go to work. Yes, draining, but I'm there for a reason.
Facts.
So
why? What's your reason? So draining work to just say that. Why do you overcome? I don't like this job. Maybe it's not my best for the season of my life, but why? What is that? What drives you? Because some people struggle to figure that out. Some people your age struggle to figure that out. So there's always restart. But you, it's not.
So I have a vision for myself, and I know that if I don't get there, I'm going to be mad. And I'm going to be mad at myself. I can't be mad at anybody else. And it doesn't help me to look back and think, oh, yeah, I never tried. I worked the job. I gave up because I didn't like it. I know I have a specific goal. I see myself here, and I'm going to be there one way or another. So it's just whether or not you can push towards it.
That's so good.
Imani, I have another question for you. What is something that you struggle with after high school that people don't usually see, and how did you overcome it?
Staying in contact with my friends. So when you graduate high school, everybody's going off. They're either going to the workforce, military. Military, I don't think you can have your phone for about like a month or two. So you can really lose contact with those people. Then you have the other people that are going to college, and everybody's trying to work as much as they can. So it's just finding time to meet up with those friends, talk to those friends. A lot of people, I want to say I'm still in contact with them, like tell them happy birthday or something. But it's like 4 people I really keep in contact with from high school. And when you get to college, you'll see it's a lot of different people in one spot. So not everybody's personality is going to match up together. And it's kind of hard to make friends with people knowing that, because they're just like, I don't want to say fleeting, but it's like you talk to them, but you'll probably never talk to them again. So in high school, you're like, man, it was so much easier to make friends. Like, we would see each other every day. We both take the same way to class. Like, it was easier that way. But now that you're an adult, like, you're forced to reach out more rather than having your teacher. Okay, small groups, stuff like that, you know.
Different season of life. It's good.
If you can pass on one lesson to somebody younger, what would it be and why that lesson?
Take college seriously the first time. Because I feel like your first semester, your freshman semester will make or break the whole entire career. Because you're getting there, it'll let you know if you think you're good in college or not. Like, you can know right off the bat. I knew a couple of people that just dropped out after a month or two. And it's kind of sad because you don't get the money back that you had already spent on like dorming, computers, electronics in general, textbooks, like all that stuff. You don't get it back. So you have to really take it seriously. You might think, oh yeah, college parties, like let's go down to Bloomington, let's go to ISU for this party. You got a whole lecture on Monday, and now you got like a quiz, a little pop-up quiz. You're like, dang, I haven't had this class since Monday. I don't really know what's going on. You're just like skipping classes too, like that. Even if it says the attendance is not required, still go. Because I promise you, he'll be like, oh, wait, you know what? This is actually really important for the exam, so keep this in mind. And it's probably not recorded. If
you weren't there, you
is,
didn't hear it or see it.
yes. Some of them will record it, and it's like, okay, you catch it. But it's still not the same as being in person. Because if you have a question right there in that moment, you email them, it might take them like a day or two to get back.
So I'm glad you shared this. I'm going to go back to Calvo here too, but you were taking some college classes in high school though.
Yes.
Right. So do you remember how many credits you had, or just because you were forming some of these habits, people had given you opportunities in high school. You were forming some of those habits before you ever got to college, where you probably had some classmates in high school that were given the same opportunity that maybe didn't form those same habits.
Yeah.
You look back, what do you think about that?
I took 4 classes before college. It was like 1 every semester.
At IU Indy.
Yes, at IU Indy. So it's kind of, it was really just setting the environment for you, because you're new to it. You're like, okay, I'm an adult, but I'm really a high schooler. They don't know this. So I have to act cool. And when you get there, you just really realize like nobody's really paying attention to you. They don't care. They're just there for their credit. And you just have to snap back into it and think, oh yeah, I'm here for a class. For me, my very first class was English 131. It's the most standard English class you get. Like, everybody coming in, that's the class you'll take. I had got a B minus because I was really struggling to like keep up with the due dates. Like, I'm in high school. I'm used to like, hey, you need to have this in by Friday. You turn it in Friday. I was used to that. But then I wasn't used to like having to go through other people, having to check with a writing center, having to put in links and references, stuff like that. I wasn't used to it. So it really would dock my points because I'm
Mm.
like missing like APA formats. It was rough, but now I know what to look for.
You probably didn't have any B minuses in high school. I'm just knowing your academic standards. So that was probably a big,
Yeah,
big
it
gut
was a
check.
shock. I
Yeah.
was like,
B.
a B minus. That's almost a C. That's basically a C.
C's don't give me C. Yeah, I miss Halloween, you know.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God, what is this? Because it was only one person at George Washington also taking the classes with me, and she was there. But she had got an A because she talked to she talked to the professor more. She talked to more of the students to understand like where she went wrong. And I just sat on the side and I didn't talk to anybody. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I have to. So then I got to my speech class and I learned, okay, well, I have to reach out now. I need to talk to other people. And then that's where I ended up getting an A.
A in speech.
Yeah.
There you go. So let's fast forward a little bit, kind of out. So maybe non-academic focus, but I'm going to ask one. I'm going to let Calvin land it here. But when you see the city as a whole, obviously you've grown up here, you're raised here, you got family on West Side, East Side, or whatnot. You're at Washington, you're at Warren, so you've seen a little bit of the city even as younger. When you think about the city now, and what is your perspective? What's getting in the way of young people being like thriving? Like our city, whether it be young people being a teenager or whether it be a young adult, that you've got business leaders watching this thing and maybe political leaders or foundation people, educators. What would be your voice that you went away and like, hey, we need to give more attention to this, or maybe this is broken in our city that needs to get addressed?
I feel like a lot of the kids now is so much anger. Like it's so much anger in them. Like they might not be angry at you, but it's coming at you. So all the violence that's going on in the city is, you don't want to be down there because now they're shooting. You're just like, well, I don't want to get shot and I'm not in it. You don't want to see people arguing on the street. And it's really because I feel like they have too much free time, but they don't have places that are like for them. So a lot of places are, you have to be 18 and older, you have to be 21 and older. Like me, I'm 20. I can't go anywhere downtown, so I just walk around, but that's what they're doing too. They're walking around because they don't have nothing else to do either. So if we can get like more stuff that's aimed towards their age, I feel like that would be nice. Like open up a little go-kart place or something. They're building apartments everywhere and it's not affordable housing. So
Facts.
what are we building another apartment building for? And it's still not affordable housing. We still have a homeless problem. And you just keep moving the homeless people. It's not solving it. You're just moving them out of the way for when people come to visit Indiana. They're like, oh, this is a nice place. There's no homelessness. But then as soon as you go behind like the highway, you just see a whole bunch of tents and you see people sitting there trying to get away out of the shade. And you're like, okay, what are we building all this stuff for? And you see all these issues, you know?
That's good, Imani. Thank you. Calvin, what's the last thing you want to kind of ask Imani? Let's wind down.
She already talked about what needs to change. I was just gonna ask that. She just answered both questions.
She's hitting it.
She answered both questions in one.
So, anything else
she just answered.
Covered a lot of ground,
I cannot believe
Imani?
She answered two questions in one.
But let's land with that though. So you talk about some of the problems, which are really spot on. A number of our alumni have talked about their concern for violence in the city, talk about concerns of I really appreciate you hit it from talking about this anger. There's so much anger with some of our youth.
Yeah.
But let's go a little further with that a little bit. Just like why is this generation of Indianapolis youth, why do you think anyway that they're so angry, whether it's at you? And I love that you said that because you may get in somebody's anger that really wasn't about you, but now you're in the crosshairs of their anger that you didn't earn, but this is where you're at. But what's driving so much anger with this generation of teenagers right now in our city?
I feel like it starts at home because there's no way you can walk out the house and you're like, oh yeah, my mom loves me, my dad loves me. They're not mad at me for anything. Like, we're not struggling with bills or anything. No kid that right now, no kid is saying, I'm not struggling with at least one thing right now at home. And I feel like they're getting it mixed up with stuff that's going on at home. Maybe their parents their anger is coming off on them and they don't even mean it, but their kid is taking it away. Like, you're blaming me for your problems. Or sometimes it really is the parent. Like, you took away their childhood so they can watch your kid. I've seen that a lot. And it is so heartbreaking because you can't go out because you have to take care of your little sibling.
Because their parents are going out.
Yeah, and you're
Mom's
missing
going out
out.
or whatever. Yeah.
Your mom's going out, she has to work, or your dad's somewhere, you don't know where he went. He's supposed to be here watching them, but it's running over. You're just like, okay, well, I can't do anything but sit here in the house. And when you finally get out the house and you see something that you don't like imagine being in the house, it's hot outside, no air conditioning. You got 3 kids running around arguing with each other. You have to break it up because no parents there. And then finally when they get there, you're like, okay, well, let me see if my friends can hang out. 2 out of the 5 friends say that they can hang out. You go downtown, somebody bumps into you, says, excuse you, you're mad because you already had a long day. You're just trying to be out and have friends and, have time with your friends. And all of a sudden somebody else is mad at you. Now you're mad because all that stuff from earlier is just bubbling up. You didn't even talk about it yet.
You're not processing it. You're not handling it healthy ways.
Yeah, and you just explode. Like, a lot of kids have a problem with it. Me, I don't see any issue with going to therapy. I feel like it's actually very... It's somebody you can talk to and get advice from. I went to therapy. I loved it. That's how I come to terms with things, talking about it. And if some people don't feel comfortable talking about it, you have one person at least. I mean, even if they're paid, you still have one person to talk about it. You're just like, okay, well, this is what it made me feel like they're not seeing me as an adult. But then I don't want them to see me as an adult because I'm still a kid. I still want to go outside. I want to hang out with my friends. I don't want to have to work a job because I want stuff, but you can't afford it. But I don't want to blame it on you, So a lot of kids have that issue, and it's just building up, and they're releasing it at the wrong people.
Powerful. Great. Thank you, Imani. Obviously, Elevate is always proud of you, and and we're not to your point. We're not paid to be per se anymore. You're not in. It's not like you're in high school in the program per se. But this is alumni. But you're always once in Elevate, always in Elevate, as you've heard us say. I know. But we appreciate you, and obviously on that continued just hustle and grind to keep moving to junior year, moving along. Glad you didn't quit when things got hard. Glad you stayed with it and formed them good habits. And obviously, thanks to our listeners. Thank you, Calvin, for another co-host episode. We're doing all right here, huh?
Man.
Learning something
from
everybody. So appreciate the opportunity. Thank you all for listening, watching, viewing. Share it, follow it on our website, elevateindy.org. Find it along YouTube, share it along, keep following, supporting. Thanks for making it all possible for us to have 2 great alumni here in this one as we have, and continue to support the ways that you do, and hope to see you all soon. Take care.
Thank you for listening to 10 years of long-term life-changing legacy of Elevate. The stories you've heard remind us that lasting change happens through long-term relationships, and that no one gets there alone. As we celebrate our 10th anniversary, we invite you to join us in shaping the next decade of impact. Be part of our 50 and 10 campaign by helping us add 50 new recurring donors during this milestone year. You can also add Elevate to your planned giving or volunteer to invest directly in the lives of Indianapolis students. Learn more and get involved at elevateindy.org. Together, we can continue building long-term life-changing legacies.